Ever heard someone say, "Don't trade time for money"? It's a way of saying, don't only make money from the hours you put in, which, let's be real, applies to most jobs. People warn against this, saying it caps your earnings since time is limited, and if you can't work, you're in trouble financially. Some suggest alternatives like investing, starting a business, or a funky lifestyle mashup. But let's debunk this idea. While it might sound wise in certain situations, it's often overhyped. Sure, diversifying income is cool, but dismissing time for money outright? No, not that simple. It's a mixed bag, and anyone preaching it as gospel might need a reality check. So, let's unravel this mystery together and separate fact from fiction. Those hustle enthusiasts dissing regular jobs that keep many folks afloat are pushing this idea that just having a 9-to-5 gig won't cut it anymore, and you gotta hustle extra hard to make it big these days. They might have a point, but let's dive into that later. First off, the whole "don't sell your time for money" vibe, it's a bit off. Unless you've got a trust fund cushion, making money without putting in time just doesn't fly. Plus, trading time for money can actually be a smart move if you do it right. Let's break it down. Most people trade their time for money by working a job. It's straightforward. You agree on an hourly rate, and it's in your contract. From minimum wage to big bucks for top-notch skills, that's the deal. Another way is through gig work, where things aren't as clear-cut. You might end up with less than minimum wage sometimes, but hey, it's still time for money. Now, why am I giving you a job 101? Because jobs aren't the only time for money game. Think about those coupon clippers or weekend yard sale warriors. They're hustling too, but sometimes the time they spend hustling isn't worth the cash they make. If they just picked up an extra shift instead, they'd likely end up with more in their pocket. Sure, not everyone can just pick up extra hours, but gig work is blowing up, offering more flexibility. Imagine you're a high-income earner, cruising through life, but then you decide to dabble in gig work to spice things up. It's fun, but you quickly realize it's not quite stacking up to your regular income. Then someone suggests, "Hey, why not start clipping coupons to save some cash?" Sounds simple, right? But here's the catch. Clipping coupons might not boost your bank account enough, and it can feel like you're running in circles. Now, let's talk about the sophisticated idiot. It's not an insult. It's a term for those high rollers in the investment world. These folks have stacks of cash or earn big bucks annually. Financial regulators think they're savvy enough to handle riskier investments. But here's the twist. Even smart medical pros like doctors and dentists can fall into this category. They dive into big investments that eat up tons of time, sometimes leaving them with less dough than they'd get from sticking to their day jobs. Doctors and dentists are brilliant minds, no doubt, but sometimes they overlook the value of their time. They get caught up in chasing passive income dreams and miss out on the money they could have made by focusing on what they do best. Now, let's flip the coin. If you're into flipping properties, selling stuff online, or couponing like a champ, go for it. But remember, if saving money becomes a time-consuming gig, you might be undervaluing your hours. Here's the kicker. We're all trading time for money, whether we realize it or not. Some folks underestimate their time's worth, while others overvalue it. But there's a middle ground where you can optimize your time to save big bucks. Spend an hour renegotiating bills, canceling unused subscriptions, or snagging a juicy credit card bonus. These little tasks might not seem glamorous, but they pack a punch in your wallet, way more than an extra hour at the office. Let's dive deeper into why selling your time for money can be a smart move, especially for the younger crowd. Not all investments are created equal. Some are as hands-off as sipping lemonade on a sunny day. Take dividend stocks, for instance. If our hypothetical doctor had invested in them, it would have taken just a few hours of research and trading to build a portfolio that pays them for years on end. Now, let's talk numbers. Imagine a dentist earning a cool grand per hour at their practice. If they spent 5 hours consulting a financial planner on structuring $1 million stock portfolio, they'd need to make $6 grand extra to justify that time spent. Considering $1 million portfolio could rake in 50 to 100 grand yearly, it'd take roughly a month for the dentist to see the payoff. That's a pretty solid return on their time and money investment. But hold up. Let's get real. Most folks aren't swimming in cash like Scrooge McDuck. Take a regular professional making $15 an hour with $1 grand to invest. Even if they hit jackpot returns of 100% annually, they'd still only pocket $1 grand a year. And let's not get carried away with compounding returns. The the best hedge fund ever only managed 60% annually before fees. So, if someone's promising sky-high returns from a YouTube tutorial, they might be selling dreams, not reality. You know, the thing is, lots of folks hear about passive income being the big deal in money matters, and that working for money isn't so cool. But here's the twist. Many end up making tiny investments instead of boosting how much they earn. Imagine this. With just $1,000, you could get proper qualifications for jobs that pay way more than just getting by. I'm not talking about online courses or fancy degrees here. I mean real skills that land you real jobs needing special training. Got some tech skills? A coding bootcamp can snag you an entry-level gig as a software whiz. Maybe not at Google, but definitely more than the bare minimum wage. Plus, that $1,000 in a stock stash? It's passive, all right, but nothing beats the steady cash from a solid job with the right skills. Now, picking the next big thing like Tesla stocks might sound more flashy than getting all skilled up. But guess what? It's a rock-solid way to stack cash. And once you're raking in more dough from your time, then you can dive into that passive income game with extra cash in hand. Oh, and if you're eyeing your own gig, knowing that time and money deal, super crucial. You see, starting your own gig demands heaps of time and energy. At first, it's just you and that tiny seed, watering it, making sure it gets enough sun, and doing all the digging. It's a mix of sunshine and rain, from dreaming up cool stuff like snazzy designs and catchy ads to digging through the mud of numbers and tax forms. As your seedling grows into a tree, you can't be the sun, the rain, and the gardener all at once. That's when you gotta learn to share the watering can. Sure, it's tough to hand over the tools you've held so close, but remember, even the best gardeners have helpers. The money wizards are spot on. You gotta team up to make that tree soar. But don't just hand off the rake and keep all the fun. You gotta get your hands dirty sometimes too. If you're a wizard with colors and shapes but get lost in a spreadsheet, find a numbers guru. And if you're the boss of getting things done but can't design your way out of a paper bag, call in a creative champ. Understanding that you're essentially trading your time for money can be a game changer, especially if you're thinking about starting your own business. It serves as a constant reminder to focus on tasks where your skills are most valuable and to delegate the rest to professionals. While we often hear inspiring stories of college dropouts building billion-dollar empires, the reality is that the average age of a successful founder hitting that milestone is around 47. That's because they've honed their skills over decades, allowing them to leverage their time effectively. So, if time for money isn't such a bad strategy, why do so many personal finance gurus harp on about passive income? Even Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, stresses the importance of making money while you sleep. Now, are these experts completely wrong? Not exactly. They just might not be articulating their point as effectively as they could, possibly misreading their audience in the process. Warren Buffett drops knowledge bombs like a pro. Even if some quotes aren't his, the message sticks. He's all about letting money work for you while you catch some sleep. But here's the kicker. Just relying on those sweet passive investments won't magically turn you into a cash wizard. Buffett chats to folks who are already swimming in dough, or at least have a golden ticket to his talks. They're not debating between splurging on Berkshire or choosing a side hustle that pays a few bucks an hour. It's more like, do I park my money here or there for the long haul? Now, let's talk about the financial gurus of the internet. The land of passive income is the holy grail, and earned income is so last century. Sure, some are legit, but let's face it, others are just drumming up the hype to sell you their secret sauce courses. No surprises there. The internet's got its fair share of tricks up its digital sleeves. But hold up, not all financial content creators are on that hustle train. About half are genuinely trying to help you navigate the money maze. Yet, here's the deal. When advice is one size fits all, it's like giving everyone the same pair of shoes and expecting a perfect fit. Life's a bit more complex than that, isn't it? Investing for passive income sounds like solid advice, right? It's like planting a money tree that keeps giving without much effort. But here's the thing. It's not a one-size-fits-all magic solution. Imagine someone telling you, hey, if you want to retire comfortably, just invest in a portfolio that brings in passive income. Sounds good, doesn't it? But hold on, that advice doesn't consider a bunch of important stuff about you, like how old you are, what skills you have, how much money you already have or owe, how much time you can put in, and what exactly you want to achieve. It's like saying, Just take this pill and you'll be healthy, without knowing anything about your medical history or lifestyle. Let's break it down a bit. Say you watch a video from Dr. Mike online. He's great, but would you skip your regular checkup just because you watched his video? Of course not. Similarly, watching a financial guru like Graham Stephan is cool, but it's not a substitute for creating your own personalized financial plan. Your situation is unique, so your approach should be too. Now, let's be real. Not everyone can kick back and watch their bank account grow. The world needs people who roll up their sleeves and get things done. Whether you're flipping burgers or designing rockets, you're trading your time for money. The trick is to make sure your time is worth a lot in the market. So, passive income isn't a magic wand, and neither is any other one-size-fits-all advice. It's about finding what works for you and making the most of it. Maybe it's investing in stocks, starting a side hustle, or climbing the career ladder. Whatever it is, make those hours count and turn them into a valuable asset. After all, your time is the most precious thing you've got. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more eye-opening content.